All right, welcome to another unusual instruments that I don't know how to play. In this episode, we're going to look at two very different instruments. They're not really related in any way. One from the percussion family, that's the drum family, and one from the wind family. And once again, I'm Mr. Jamie, and I'm going to be your host. And I'm also here on behalf of the Newport News Park Recreation and Tourism Instructional Programs. So let's take a look at our first instrument. From the percussion family, there's actually a lot of little instruments and different types of drums and a lot of stuff in the percussion family. This, I believe, is called a multi-tone drum. I'm not positive on the name for this, but I believe that is correct. You have a bunch of cut slots here, and each slot makes a different sound when you hit it with the stick. So that's where the multi-tone comes from. So if I can see what I'm doing. So there's that one, and then this one, you get a lower. Shorter the cut, the higher the pitch. That's the lowest one. I think it's got a crack in it. So it's so it doesn't ring quite as good as it should. Oh yeah, it's this crack right here. I did a little repair on it. This was given to me, as a lot of these instruments seem to have been. This one has some cracks in it. I did a little repair work on it, but this one in particular I think still has some issue. It just doesn't ring as good as it should. So let's lay it down flat and actually attempt to play something. You know, it is a drum based instrument. It is not definite pitch, as we would say. It does not have that's an A, that's a B, that's a C, that's a C sharp. It doesn't have anything like that. It just has sounds that are of varying heights: high sounds, medium sounds, low sounds. Let's see what we can get here. That's a good one. That always sounded like, let's see if I can do that again. What'd I do? Not the right order. That's it. Kind of sounds like showing my age, but kind of sounds like Close Encounters of the Third Kind when they're playing music to communicate with the alien UFO. That's just coincidental. It certainly wasn't set up that way. All right, I think that will cover it for the multi-tone drum. And as I said, I'm not positive that's the correct name, but I believe it is the correct name. All right, let me just take a quick break here and say a quick word for the Newport News Parks and Rec and Tourism Instructional Programs. There'll be a link up here, as you can see. It's kind of redundant for me to say that because it'll already be there. Be sure to check out those classes, particularly if you live in the Newport News area, Hampton Roads area of Virginia. And we've got classes happening for all sorts of things. Sometimes we'll have music, animation. When all this COVID stuff gets taken care of, there'll be sports and gymnastics. They have all sorts of art and cooking. There's all sorts of great and affordable classes there. So be sure to check that out. Now back to our regular scheduled program. So our second instrument for today, as I said, is a wind instrument. Technically, we would say woodwind. And let's see, I actually have, I don't know if you can see much there, a whole case of them here. These are not that unknown, though I'd say the odds are you may not have actually heard one played live, but you're probably familiar with these, and you may have heard one at least on TV or something like that. Let me pull one out. Let's go key of C. Each of these is in a different key. They follow a different scale. As you can see it now, you probably know. These are harmonicas. And the harmonica is a kind of unique instrument in that it makes a different sound when you blow air out than when you draw air in. The sound changes. So, for instance, if I go out, but if I draw the air in, I get a completely different chord. And that's without moving my mouth across the hole, just changing the direction of the air. Now, the harmonica is a reed instrument. It does have little sticks. On most instruments, those sticks are wood. Harmonicas are usually metal. They're little sticks that vibrate when the air passes through them. So the harmonica has those reeds facing in both directions, two different sets of reeds, so that the air going either direction hits a different set of reeds. They are, as I said, they're in different keys. There is such a thing as a chromatic harmonica. That is a harmonica that can play all the notes of the piano, basically, within a certain range. In other words, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, covering the black keys, where this just plays a major scale. It's hard to play one note at a time. Not good at that. Well, sort of a scale. I kind of did it in chords, but if I want to play, this is in the key of C, so this is a C. Now, if I want to play a C sharp on this, I can't. It can only play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That is the C scale. It is in that key. That's all it can play. So, let's play something in the key of C. About the only thing I know on harmonica, really, other than just fiddling around. Though it's not really fiddling, it's harmonicaing around because it's not a fiddle. So as you probably know, that was When the Saints Go Marching In, or you might know from kindergarten, some of the kids, you learned When the Ants Come Marching In. And that was When the Saints Go Marching In the key of C. As I said, this only plays in the key of C. Now, what if, though, I needed to play in a different key? Let's say I'm playing with a band, and for it to work for the band, let me check what keys I have before I say this. Okay, let's say I'm playing with a band and the band's going to play it in the key of G. Often that will be something that's necessary because of the singer. Singers have certain ranges, so they're going to want certain keys. There's also issues like guitar. The key of G, key of C is pretty good for guitar, but let's say the key of B flat, not so good for guitar. So they would want to avoid that key. There is a capo and all that, but we won't get into that. So what I can do if I need to play in the key of G is put this back in the case. And this is why there's a whole case of them. And I can pull out one in the key of G. Now there's only, 7 in here? So this doesn't have every key. There are 12 major keys. This has 7, which basically is the notes of a scale. A major scale has 7 notes plus the repeat of the letter name, making it 8. So C scale has C at top and C at bottom. It repeats. This set is a F major scale, basically, which is to say the harmonicas are F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E. And then the F would repeat. But, of course, you only have one F. You wouldn't have 2 Fs. And that'd be silly. So now this is a G harmonica. All right, I saw it just a minute ago. Okay, wanted to show you if you could see it. It's on the side there. It has a G printed on it. I don't know if you can actually see that from there. So if I play the same thing in the same holes, we'll get When the Saints Go Marching In, but in the key of G. This one doesn't seem to play very well. Okay, something's wrong with this one. Let's try the key of F. I might have to have that one looked at. So that's When the Saints in the key of F. So you get the harmonica that matches the key you need to play in. And this is B flat. This is the reason I got this particular set, because I thought I was going to play a bit, learn to play a bit, and maybe I still will one day, and play this along with my clarinet. Clarinets are in the key of B flat. It's a B flat clarinet. It's a B flat instrument. And so to make it work well with the clarinet, a B flat harmonica is a good choice. All right, that's just random playing, just making stuff up. All right, so, and as I said, there is a chromatic harmonica. It is more complicated of an instrument. It has a lever that switches between reed sets so that you can get every note. And it's a little more advanced playing than just a regular harmonica. So I said that's the harmonica, and we had the multi-tone drum. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Unusual Instruments I Don't Know How to Play. At least that's what I call it. Sometimes it doesn't seem so true, does it? But I guess I do know how to play a little, not a lot. I did used to teach my 5th grade class back in the day some basic harmonica. So that's where I've learned what I know, like When the Saints Go Marching In. That's going to be all for this episode. As always, and as I said before, be sure to check out the Newport News Parks, Recreation, and Tourism instructional programs on the link on the screen. And until we meet again, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.